This is the Red Lover Show with me, Josh Averton, Andy Simcox, Alan Smith, and Craig Wood. The usuals, or the new usuals, actually now. So we've got a couple of things to cover. We've got the greatest trophy of all time, the Papa John's group stage has come to an end. Great to see we made it through to round of 23,
Hey,
No, it
32,
come
hasn't.
to
sorry.
an end, Josh. We've one more game. Bradford
Yeah, that's what,
City.
that's what I'm saying. Group stage come to an end, done it though?
No,
No,
Has it not?
we've got
Bradford
Bradford
City haven't
City
played a
away to
game
play.
yet, I don't think.
We've got
I
Bradford
thought-
City to play 3 round robin. With Bradford
yes.
City away to play.
See, it's that good you get an extra game compared to what I thought. That's
well,
fantastic.
Bradford City haven't even started. They've got no
No,
points
'cause
because they've
they're
played
other
no
cups.
games. Yeah,
They're
they haven't
other
played
cup.
out. Yeah.
Oh, kick them out then. Get rid of them. If they're not playing, get rid of them. They're not having a bye. They've made me look stupid this introduction and all, so definitely get rid of them for that. Yeah, so we'll discuss the greatest tournament in club football and also preview Blackpool. So let's get into it. So, Al, a game which you'll be massively looking forward to as it featured a plethora of under 21 players. Your favourite Barnsley team, I reckon, out of the women's, the senior first team, and also 21s. What did you reckon to it last night?
They performed well, didn't they? Watching it on iPhone, as I say, because I subscribed because Kate were working, so I didn't get back in while 7:15 and watched it. And yeah, three good headers. Wanted to win 3-1, and we were coasting at 2-0 until they scored just before half time. But yeah, 11 and under 21s. We got Benson, Chapman, Pickard starting, as well as Jallo. So Jallo put himself about. And Max Waters, I thought, put himself about as well. Plus, we had McCarthy, De Gigny, and Jack Shepherd all vying for a start, aren't they, on Saturday against Blackpool. So, per anyone from 3 on that one. According to why he took Jack Shepherd off at half time, Neil Collins, is that he got a booking and he didn't want to risk him and lose him. So that's the reason I thought, oh, Shepherd's going to be playing on Saturday, but no, it were precautionary to give him options. And then second half, we ended up on bench with Josiah Dyer, Kieran Flevel, Emezi and Zondo, Jonathan Bland, Nathan James, and who I think is a good player is Vimal Yoganathan. What can you say about Yoganathan? He just coursed through for a young lad in midfield, just simple things. Jonathan Bland looked good, and first goal as well for 2 of our players, for Jesse McCarthy and Emezi and Zondo. And Zondo, when he come on a sub, that smile on his face. Wow, did you see him? He was just so happy to score a goal on his first outing with first team. So yeah, a good run out. And Man City under 21s were a decent side.
Yeah, I think it's to be expected, though, isn't it, when you play these big clubs, though. It's kind of weird, though, when you play the under 21s, I think, Andy, because it's not all their better players have gone off on loan, and it's almost like a middle under 21 side you end up playing that are probably not ready yet to go out and play men's first team football, and still want to continue their development. Like it's almost weird when you play like a Chelsea, a Man City, a Man United 21 side.
It is. It is. I mean, they were a good side. I've no idea how much their side cost, but I still think be a fair packet. But the bottom line for me, I talked about matching a minute, shouldn't even be there. No disrespect to Manchester City or any under 21 team, but they shouldn't be in this competition. It's wrong. Well, they're in, and I hope they get. That being the case, I hope they get some benefit from it. From their point of view, they've got 2 wingers. On either side, Joel and what's the other one called? Come on, Craig. What's the other one called? See, 2 wingers. Joel on the left wing, number 73. He strolled through the game, and then whenever he picked up the ball, he set off, and he was almost unstoppable. Same on the right. They played really well down the flanks, getting them in, and we defended really well in the middle. Apart from the goal, which were a bit of a shame. but they could have scored some more goals because they got round the back of us very, very regularly and got it to the final ball, let them down. But from our point of view, as Al said, Max Waters had a really good game. He controlled the ball, he laid it off well, played really, really well. Very, very impressed with him. Jallo looks a superstar. He was not out of place. If he'd have been playing for Manchester City last night, the whole world would have been raving about that lad. He was that good, so good. At the back, Al says there's a number there that could fit in on Saturday, and I thought the same, Al, that when Jack Shepherd came after, it was because, let's give him a rest before Saturday, and that might be the case, but it could quite simply be any of the three of them. I assumed it would be Jack Shepherd and McCartan move into the middle. That's what I thought. But Mile, he was Dejevny, he was superb in the centre. We got man of the match, and he was absolutely superb. Some really quality stepping up and taking the ball off him. Really, really quality. And he played in that central, that sweeper, if you like, between the two of the centre halves, and he played it exceptionally well. Really, really pleased for him. They all did well. Oh, they all did well. The lad who came on, and I cannot remember his name. You know it, because you've said it. Our number 43, tall lad. He was outstanding. Like a gazelle. What was his name again, Al?
You want to know his name again, Andy? I'll tell you his name, mate.
63, not 43. Jorgen.
You mean 63, Vimal Jorgen?
He was in the centre of midfield.
Jorgen, yeah.
He was absolutely fabulous when he came on. He looks $1 million, so it'll do him the world of good. So I'm really, really chuffed about him all. And, 3 good goals. I think the goalkeeper, I was surprised at the quality goalkeeper. I don't think their goalkeeper were particularly good on the night. So, 3 headers. Some of them quite, well inside the penalty area, inside the 6-yard box. And, but, good. A good run out for some player. They've put themselves firmly in the manager's mind, ready for the for the first team.
And it's nice to see, lads, 3-1 going in the right direction instead of wrong direction
on a Tuesday night. Isn't it? It is. Yeah. Yeah.
I think you made a few good points there, Andy. I think obviously the key one that we're sort of all looking to is that back three of who's going to step into it. And whilst they all played well last night, I think it's hard to judge them, Craig, in terms of you're up against Man City under 21s, you're up against Jordan Rhodes at Blackpool, you're up against a sort of seasoned professional in that way. So it's kind of hard to judge how they would fare in a really competitive league game.
Yeah, I think Mael playing at central defence, I think that spoke to what the manager's thinking. Obviously, chucked him in a bit early previously when he had a shocking game. But I think the fact that he played a full 90 in that position means that I think he's planning on putting him in the weekend, which I think he's deserved. His games against Grimsby and when he's come off at bench for us in league, I think he's deserved the chance. Jack Shepherd going off at half time. Mia said same as you guys. She thought, he might be playing. I said, no, it's probably just because of the yellow card he got. Because, like you said, them wingers were really good and they kept running at him. And I thought he could have just one slip up and that's another yellow. So their main winger, that Joe Ndala, he was prolific all night. Danny Benson, bless him, he just couldn't keep hold of him. No. And that all changed, actually, when Jonathan Bland came in. He come on, and he just seemed to be able to stop him. I think he were tackling harder. I think he were tracking him better. And Conor McCarthy as well, having Conor McCarthy behind him, I think they started doubling up on him. And for the last 20 minutes of that game, he just kept trying to cut inside because he knew he wasn't getting that outside like he did for the goal that they scored. I think Johnny Russell had one of his best games. I thought he run midfield. I said in the preview that physically we're going to be better. Technically, they're going to be better. Our physicality showed through in the end, especially with 3 headers. And Zondo coming on showed a lot of energy, a lot of what Jallo does. Gets out wings, uses his pace, scoring his first goal, which cost me a chicken dinner. which obviously looking at me, I'm not happy about. Because that table's getting a bit closer and getting towards the end. But I think every player who played yesterday really put the first team on notice. You can't drop off. This injury to Lapata could give De Givenet a chance to go in ahead of him even when he comes back from injury if he plays that well. So you can't even risk getting injured with these lot behind you because it's possible. I thought Pickard looked well on the left wing back. Thought he played particularly well. Theo Chapman, tons of energy in that midfield. Josh Benson as well, controlling that midfield along with Russell. They were poorer than the side I saw a few years ago. The Man City under-21s that come a few years ago, I thought they were a lot better than the side that showed up yesterday. But they're young and they're going to learn. This is obviously a learning experience for them. But yeah, there's no but positives from Barnsley's point of view. But except for conceding that goal, I don't think we looked under pressure at any point, really, except the wingers. I thought they were the only ones that caused any issues. We didn't have the majority of the ball, but we had most of their possession in their half. So it's not as if they had possession with purpose because they didn't. So yeah, it's all pluses, and I know I say that it's just a glorified friendly and everything, but it's good to see that the players still care. You know, and I think they showed that yesterday, and it gives Neil Collins options, and you can't have too many of them when you're in a league like we're in.
And it just shows that squad of Man City's how strong they are when you've got subs coming on 98 and 99. Who's going to be 100th on back of shirt, innit?
Yeah, well, that's it. I think I just get to pick whatever number they want. But the centre-backs of Man City, that you can tell what they were wanting. They just wanted us to press them. They just stood there with ball. They didn't know what to do. Once you didn't press them, they were like, "Oh, well, what we're going to do now?" You know. So I think Collins played a blinder as well because normally we do press, and he said don't because technically we know they're going to be brilliant. And once they had no other option, they just get it to fingers and hope that they could create something.
Yeah, I think it is sort of a nuance to it when you're playing them 21 sides, because like you say, it is it's especially against the 21s, like when you play like the other league teams, League Two sides in this competition, it is a little bit more intense and it's a little bit close. But when you play the 21s, you sort of as a senior team, you're expected to beat them, even though what 3/4 of ours was our under 21s with a couple of first teamers thrown in there. So you are sort of expected to go and win it and comfortably in that matter. But I think it's interesting to see that game management as well from Neil Collins come through of having, instead of going gung-ho of the press, to set off and allow them, well, to stop, to actually stay away from them, stop their actual outlets and that. So it's good to see. I think the future's looking bright, Al, isn't it?
It is. It's very bright, and there's a game on. We're recording now. They're playing Sheffield United tonight. It should have been this afternoon. So under 21 playing tonight. So if anybody, well, you can't tell you to get down. I'd have gone, but recording this. So let's see what result is on that one. And I think he's fetched two back ante. He's fetched Josiah Dyer back from loan. And another lad, so they'll probably be playing tonight.
I just hope they're going to be used because it's pointless bringing players back and just having them just sat there doing nothing. It's a really strange decision. I don't tend to agree with why. I'd love to know why. You know.
I don't think there's something else then, Craig. I thought you were ready.
No, I just want to know why, because it's like they're getting games, they're getting minutes in a more competitive league than under 21s, and why take that experience from them unless you're planning on doing something with them? So
it's a dereliction of duty, this, Al. You know, you're supposed to be our under 21s reporter. You should be there watching this match. You could have your phone on. You could be doing this show. True. You could be doing this show live from the academy pitch. You could have been showing it live, Al. You could be talking. You could have been doing.
I could have been news. It could have been news at town. It could have been news at town, couldn't it?
It would have been Al. Somebody's been sent off. Has there?
You could have been doing all that, Al. You've missed. You got miss your chance, Al.
You
You could have been there.
Well, I can't do this and Orange podcast, can I, for Blackpool? So I'm double booked. I'm double booked.
Do all three. If you're committed, you do all three. It's a good point you've raised there, Craig, because I think there's one thing we haven't touched on any of the shows so far, and it's Aidan Marsh going on loan to York. Andy, what do you make of that one? Because previously he's made an impact from the games he's been getting as a sub. So a little bit, I can see why people are confused by it, but I also see the positive to it as well, because it's only a month, isn't it? I think from memory.
Yeah, I think it is. If it gives him game time to get stronger and get more into league football and what have you, then that's fine. But it did surprise me because, as you say, he's been coming on and he looks a lot physically stronger and he looks even quick anyway, but he looked even quicker. So it's a surprise because I thought he'd be there on the subs bench and be coming on because he has done, and it surprised me a little bit. But maybe he thought give him some chance elsewhere, let him get some minutes under his belt and what have you, and come back even stronger. But it did surprise me, and in some respects it's a shame because I like to see him in a red shirt. Not in a red shirt at York City. So I hope it goes well for him and he comes back better.
Yeah, I think it is a weird one, Craig, isn't it? But I think when you think of the context of there's Cosgrove, Devante, Max Waters, it's going to be difficult for him to break into that sort of senior quartet, trio, and be a part of it. But then again, one injury and suddenly he's right back in there, like in the mix, isn't he?
Yeah, I think it's confused me how it's only a month. I mean, what's the point? What's he going to learn in a month? But then again, gaining him experience at another club with different training facilities, a couple of leagues down, which might be more physically demanding than ours. I don't know. It's how he feels at the end of the day. If he feels it's been beneficial, then it's been beneficial. If it feels like it's been a waste of time, then it's been a waste of time. But he needs to come back. He needs to talk to Khaled. He needs to talk to the manager. He needs to say whether he enjoyed it, whether he found it beneficial. Because there's no point sending somebody on a month when they're not going to be playing as a starter. Because at the minute he's just been on bench from what I've seen and come on a couple of times. So yeah, it's all depends on how he finds it. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, we've got others, haven't we? As well as the three you've mentioned, we've also got John McAtee and Jallo as well. Based on last night, and I know it's under 21s, but whatever you can only play who's in front of you, and he was outstanding yesterday. And it weren't just about who he was playing against. The ball had come to me, control it, kill it dead, and set off with it. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if he finishes up on our subs bench. But you can only bring so many strikers on, can't you? We play two, and he's got two more. So in that respect, I can see why they'd want Aidan to get some football played and what have you. But you're not going to bring six on if you count him and Jallo as well. So
what I liked about Jallo last night is because he's so young, he gets thrown about a bit. He got thrown about by their defender. He started showing a bit more strength, and that's what I like to see. When he's running with the ball, he's not letting them push him over like he used to. No. And he needs that because in leagues, especially like this, you've got to be able to hold your own. And he started doing that, and at such a young age, it's important. And so I think he's making all the right steps to become a top player. We just need to get him signed on another contract. That's what we need.
That would be ideal, I think. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, other loan news, Aaron Leary-Seka gone to Israel.
Israel, yeah.
I say. Scored in the first 5 minutes been playing there, so we've made a massive mistake, I think, by allowing it to go. Prolific goal scorer gone there.
Say that without smiling, Josh. Come on.
Prolific goal scorer, it's gone.
Josh, pull the other one.
Pull the other one. Look, we've lost a goal this season now for me. That's it. Season's over.
To be completely honest, with Leary-Seka, I mean, it's the season that the recruiting were done by a director, and he come in, and I think that sometimes puts a bad shade on his time and his transfer here. I don't think he was the worst player in the world. I don't think he was as bad as Haller. I don't think he's been as bad as some signings over years. But once you're seen as being somebody's, we all know it was Conway's signing, so he was like Conway's boy. So the fans were never going to take to him anyway. But I didn't think he was that bad of a player, and I thought he could have been given a chance. You know, Duff gave him a little chance at start, but loans in are good. I mean, unless they're paying his wages, to me, he just needs to leave permanent for his career, because he's never going to make it here just because the cloud is under.
To leave permanently, though, you got to have somebody that wants to buy you.
No, that's the difficulty.
You see, I have a stress, because I think he can play football, but so I don't think it's particularly about his footballing skill. I think there's more at play here. I don't know if it's about attitude or whatever, but we've had a few managers now that don't fancy him being around the club and being around other players. So what that's about, whether it's about his attitude to others, attitude in training, lack of training, it might not be, but there's a reason behind it all that we don't know. So I think it's best for all concerned. It would be best if somebody had bought him, but assuming we're not paying his wages, because if we're paying all his wages, he won't be going anywhere for me. He'd be training, but they must be paying some of his wages. And good luck to him, because
well, isn't it? He's playing football, which he wasn't playing football. That's the main thing. If you're a professional footballer, you don't want to be set on sidelines. You want to be playing, don't you?
But if you're sat at, then do something about it. Try and do something about it. I don't know what the problem was, Al, or what the problem is, Al, but it's not working out. And for his health, he needs to go.
Different things out here, and whether it's true or not, it's just hearsay. The fact that he got too big a bonus if we're playing, I don't know. Nobody knows the thing. You don't know what's in the contract, do you? Nobody knows what's in contract.
Well, that might explain a lot if he gets a bonus.
I don't know. You don't know, Craig. It could be something just as simple as that.
I don't think that'll come into it. I don't think that'll come into it for our current manager and for Michael Duff. I don't think they'd think, I can't.
Contract was there already, wasn't it? Yeah. Contract.
I don't think people think
before anybody come in, wasn't it?
I don't think people think like that, Al. I don't think our two current and previous manager would think, I can't play him because if we win, he'll be on a big bonus. We just want to win, and it clearly weren't part of last year's plans, and definitely not part of this year's plans. So it's best that he goes, and I hope in Israel they're paying his wages, because he deserves to be playing football because he's a footballer, and we deserve not to be paying his wages because he's done naught for us. So good luck for all parties, and off you go.
Yeah, I think that sums up nicely, to be honest. Good luck to him.
Take his send off.
And he's gone for a good start as well. Already scored inside 5 minutes. So good on him.
Why can't they do that for us? These
players, playing.
As soon as they go, they tend to score a lot.
Well, let's hope they see a striker in him and want to buy him in January.
That's been perfect course for seasons upon seasons, Craig.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
Typical. I think that's just about it for other news. Anything else gone off?
I can tell you briefly. I'm not going to tell you about tables because I'm going to put them together later. But I can say one thing: Tony Carlson's still at the top after the last 2 games. But I can tell you this much:
Very happy about that.
60 predictions, 34 for a Barnsley win, 14 for a draw, 12 said Man City had win, including me. So we got that wrong.
Ooh,
I know. The people that got it right got the 3-1 score. I know, 3-1 score. They're quite a number. No, the 2 people got 3-0, didn't they, Craig? So, so the people that got it right, Andy Morris, he called it right. I call him Andy Mack. I don't know. It looks like Andy Mack. Tony Carlson got it right. Yet a flipping again. He's good. If we're not careful, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop taking his predictions because he's not going to get anybody else a chance at this rate. So Tony Carlson. Then we've got Dean Pudfat. Go on, Dean. John Rigby. Well done, John Rigby. So they're the ones that got, so 5 of them, they're the ones that got 3-1. So well done to them. I bet they was thrilled to bits when last goal went in. There were a lot had said 2-1, you see, but they'll be thrilled. So
Johnny
chicken
keeps thanking
dinners.
me and on his blog what he does over in Sweden for my photos. So he does a good blog in Sweden.
Let me get this right out. It's photos you take of matches, isn't it? They're not selfies or your breakfast.
No. It's action shots. It's
It's not your breakfast that way to away match or me holding a pint on your away matches, is it, Al? It's actual match. That's all right.
It's proper footage.
It's a shame he didn't get to play Al Bingo like weekend on an away day. Have a picture of him on coach and a picture of him with his breakfast, picture of him outside ground, self with Neil Collins, picture of players warming up.
Look, he asked for a photo with a player. I got one in background and a John Parkin behind me.
Oh, I knew there'd be one in.
That's a name drop.
Get one
there
in.
we go.
You were not behind me, John. He were upset, John. He couldn't get a pint in ground, I'll tell you.
Well impressed with that, Al.
There you go.
Well impressed.
Didn't try to get him on podcast, no?
Nice breakfast, by the way, you had at weekend.
Other places do it, but Morrison's do a decent one.
After that brand deal there with Morrison's, isn't he? Once getting sponsored by him for a free.
It's like an octopus. He's got paws in every different bowl. You know?
Next away game, Leighton Orient for me.
Well, so anyone that's got Al on Facebook, watch out and you can play along and play Al Bingo and see if you get a full house by 12 o'clock because we almost did last week. Right, moving on. Blackpool on Saturday. It's return of sort of the bigger sides that we're playing against, and it's not been too good for us, has it, Andy, at the minute, playing against the sides that we expect to be up there. We've not fared too well against them so far.
Well, we did all right away to Wigan, but at home we've struggled against sides that have pressed us, and I mean particularly like pressing us from our goal kicks, if you like. That if they stay up front and run at this, quickly run at the centre halves when they receive the ball, we stop doing it and put it long. It may be a little bit better, presuming I'm just going to presume that Sam Cosgrove is playing on Saturday since he did last week. That there is that outlet in the air, because much as he shows a lot of ability elsewhere, scored a fabulous goal at the weekend. Devante, it shouldn't be a target man. He's not, he's so quick. He should move off a target man. So hopefully that'll make a difference. But it's going to be a tricky game. They've not scored a goal away from home as far as I can remember. They're not doing, they're just below us in the table. They're not doing it awfully. I think they've only lost a couple. But away from home, I think they've lost 2 and drawn 1. But they haven't scored, unless Craig or Smithy, the Stato brothers, can tell me different. I don't think they've scored away from home. So get ready, because, oh dear, we've got Jordan Rhodes coming. Now, he's knocking on a bit, so he's a bit of an old man now, aren't you, Jordan? You're knocking on a bit, love. But hopefully he'll stop his record of always scoring against us. Because he always does. He always scores. Knock it off, Jordan, for goodness sake. I'm sick of it. Sick of seeing you wheeling away with your hands in air. And, of course, we've also got Kenny Dougal as well, haven't we? Who, last time we played him, he ran the flipping match single-handed. So we've got to get him on Kenny and not let him control the game again. Because I still shudder that we let him go, because he's an outstanding player, and we should. I mean, probably wouldn't have been with us now, but we should have kept hold of him. We should not have let him go. What a player he is.
Yeah, one of my favourite players. I remember when they played Doncaster and he tried to play him with a broken leg. Which respect to that, trying to play. Al, how do you feel about coming against Blackpool? Because as Andy said, they seem to struggle away from home, but also when we play the bigger sides, we struggle at home against them as well.
We do. If we go back to stats, last time we played them in League One,
here we go.
We beat them at Blackpool 1-0, and we beat them at Oakwell 2-1. But then throw that back to 21-22 season in Championship, we lost to them 1-0 at Blackpool and 2-0 at Oakwell. So it's even in 2 seasons. So it's not going to be easy. They've come down from Championship. into League One, and they've got Critchley back as their gaffer as well, haven't they? So sides what Neil Critchley managers, coaches, they're tough to beat. So it's we picks in defence, isn't it, Collins, to try and bolster that defence.
Yeah, I think that's really sort of the main question that a lot of fans will have this week, especially. Greg, what do you think we have to do differently against the better sides in this league, especially when we're playing at home? Because we just seem to struggle, and we struggle by the same scoreline as well every time we play them.
We need plan B. We need to start playing Cosgrove, because like Andy said, when the precedence, we ain't got an answer for it. Put Cosgrove up top, and there's your plan B. You've got to be able to lump it up every now and again, and he's the only one that can do that can be our target man, so to speak, up top and be able to win them headers. Because if not, we're just losing possession, aren't we? At the end of the day, they play the same formation as we do, so it's going to be a dead rubber. It's going to be who wants it more. They've got some star names. Jordan Rhodes got an hat-trick in his last game, which I'm sure you'll love to know. Also, they've got Ollie Norburn in midfield along with Kenny Dougal, and it's like, quality upon quality there. Matthew Pennington at back, who I've always admired. I think is a fantastic centre back. Even the goalkeeper Grimshaw has been brilliant over recent seasons. I think it's Shane Livery as well. They've got up top as well. So they've got quality, and I don't think it's championship quality. I do think it is League One quality throughout that team. But Neil Critchley's. His teams aren't easy to play against, and they're not going to come here and expect to dominate in any fashion. They're just going to be happy to keep ball, happy to let us have ball at times. They're not going to overpress us, so we're not going to find it easy to get through them. The disciplinary record this season, the second best only to Northampton, only 11 yellow cards this season. We've had double that. We've had 22, so I think that shows that they're not going to be pressing us as much as, which could probably play in our favour, because we saw what happened when Portsmouth pressed us and we got absolutely demolished. So it's going to be an entertaining game. But I do remember the last time we played them away at their place, and they absolutely tore us a new one. But this is a new squad compared to what it was last time. And I think our players are a lot better than what we took to them last time. So for me, it's going to be really close, and it's all going to hinge on who wants it most. And this could be a game for Johnny Russell, I must say as well, because I think his physicality could help in that midfield. Kenny Dougal's not the biggest. Knock him over a few times. Knock Ollie Norburn over a few times. You never know what can happen.
They need to worry about us, though. Remember, if look at our midfield as well. Callum Styles is playing out of his skin at this minute. I'd be worried about him if I were them. But one thing I will say, Josh. My family, my niece Emma Lees, she's a Mansfield supporter, and her daughter Izzy, she's a Mansfield supporter. But her husband Andy Lees, and their son George are fanatical Blackpool fans. So please, she watches the show. Hey up, Emma. She watches the show for please God, don't let's hammer them. Don't let Blackpool win. Please. It's more than I can cope with if Blackpool wins. So, I hope George. I don't wish any ill on anybody, but I hope he slips in his kitchen and just tweaks something so he can't play or something like that, because then we'll hammer him. So, who knows?
Oh,
Yeah, Darren Barnard slip on some cat wee or something like that in the kitchen and just put his Sinatra action for a day. Anyway, please, I don't want hope from Andy and George. It's too much to bear.
Little Alan Andy, what are they going to say? I don't know.
And that is the question, Al. Let's go on and find out.
Great win against Manchester City's youth team. That's it, I'm booking my trips to Wembley. What do you think the score's going to be against Blackpool? They haven't scored a goal yet away from home. I'm going 2-0 Barnsley. I'm going 1-0 Barnsley. If you think you're better than predicting those, get it in the comments down below. You Reds!
So, that's what the young'uns think. Al, come to you first. What are you reckoning to Saturday?
Well, we've got to bounce back, haven't we, from us 3-1s at Oakwell. I mean, only one with Burton, one at home. So 7-0 first game and beating Burton and 3-3-1s up bounce. So we've got to put that on back burner and come out and get 3 points at home, because away from home we're different grade. We ain't lost, have we? So I'll go 2-1 Barnsley.
Ooh, interesting. Craig, what are you thinking?
I think Jordan Rolls will get his goal. I think he's just one of them players that's going to keep scoring against us until he finally ends his career. Yeah.
He'll retire against us with an hat-trick as well.
But I also think we offer more than they can. I think we're quicker. I think we're better on ball, and I think we'll create a lot of chances. Please, if Cosgrove starts, I think he's going to be at the key to this game, and I think we will win 3-1.
Oh, a reverse of the loss of 3-1s. We're going to turn it around to a big 3-1 win. Interesting. Put Craig down for none this weekend, Andy, I would. What are you thinking, Andy?
Well, they've said it down to Jordan Rhodes. You know, he could score an hat-trick. He always scores at least 2 goals against us. So I'm a bit worried about that, in all honesty. So I think based on all that, we're going to win 2-1.
Interesting.
Jordan Rhodes will score his 2 goals, but one will be an own goal.
Why can't he just get 2 own goals?
His dad used to play for us, so didn't he? His dad used to play goal for us, so there. That says it all, doesn't it?
He's a big lad. He'll be at back for some corners. It can nick off his head and just go in for me. I'm not going to moan. So we've all gone for wins. So
don't spoil it.
No, I'm going to be different. I'm going to be different.
We know that. You're very different, Josh. We know that. You're very different.
Do you know what, Al?
Just remember, they've only scored 8 goals this season and conceded 7. So
go on, Andy.
Do you know what, Al? When Joe were here, when he was talking like this, he looked all miserable. Look, he's going to predict either a draw or a defeat, but he's going to laugh and smile when he says it, Al. That's not a good look, is it, Al? It's not a good look.
I'm thinking about them sweet 3 points I'm going to gain on you 3 over this weekend.
Oh, you're going to need more than 3 points.
I'm still way up there.
I mean, yeah, as Andy said, I'll definitely need them. I'm going to go with... I think we'll win 2-1. I think we'll win 2-1.
All 3 of you? Yeah. 2-1?
2-1.
Come on. Vary it up a little.
Look, just because on Monday night on Only Connect, winning chicken dinner come out. There's 3 of us here wanting to winning chicken dinner.
Well, I was going to say 2-1. And then I thought, no, I'll be a bit different. I can't do that. And then,
Craig, you've spoiled it.
No, I'm sticking 3-1. I'm sticking 3-1.
You can change in comments if you want.
2, Devante will get 1.
You can change in comments if you want. After you didn't line up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can change it in comments. Right. I think that's just about it, isn't it? So, we'll see you all on Saturday. I'm not sure if there'll be instant reaction or fan cam yet. I am supposed to be going to get the stuff pre-game, but I don't know if it's charged. It's going to be the next thing that I need to work out. So, there's potentially a fan cam, there's potentially not fan cam, potentially interaction, potentially not. I'll confirm on Twitter as I know a little bit more. So, yeah, keep your eyes out now on our socials. I'll see you later, you Reds.